Two.
Okay, we on. All right, what's up, everybody? My name is Timothy Hill, and I am the producer of the Heart to Heart Relationship Talk Show. I want to thank you guys for joining us tonight. We are definitely looking forward to getting this show started. So with that being said, I'm gonna introduce my host Trina, but right now, let's get the show started.
Is it love or is lust? Is it all about us? Do we really have trust? Is compromising enough? Come on, let us discuss. Heart to heart, let's start the spark. Let's talk, no fuss.
Good night, everyone. And thank you again for coming to the Heart to Heart Relationship Talk Show virtual event for September 13th. I am your host for tonight, and my name is Trina. First name Katrina, but everyone says Trina, and I will be your host for tonight's show. The Heart to Heart Relationship Talk Show is a platform for people all across the world to come together and address taboo topics on all things relationships. Viewers such as yourself are able to submit questions and have them answered by our celebrity panelists. And you will also have an opportunity for our business owners to market their brands on this platform. Please take advantage of the opportunity to network within the chat or to subscribe to any of the professional resources that you see here tonight. Remember, follow us on all our social media platforms at the word heart, heart to heart, RTS. That is heart followed by the number 2. Heart RTS on all our social media platforms, and of course subscribe to our YouTube page and to Pharcyde TV. With that being said, I just have a few rules that we need to go over. If an audience member would like to comment, please tap the raised hand icon, which we will ensure that your cameras are turned on and you'll be able to comment, and you have about a minute to respond to the question. Please feel free to express yourself, but remain respectful and have fun and meet new people. As Tim said earlier, this is a fun and vibrant show. We're fueled by your questions and your responses, and it's insightful and meaningful conversations. Now, with that being said, I would like to introduce our panelists for tonight. And for tonight, we're going to start with Miss Juliet Black. Please remember, panelists, you have 1 to 2 minutes to introduce yourself, let our followers know where they can find you and what you do. So Juliet Black, on to you.
Hello again. So happy to be here. My name is Juliet Black, as she stated. I'm a lifestyle promoter. Basically, I host parties where people can come and be sexually liberated. It's a safe environment for you to express yourself, explore yourself, you and your partner, or by yourself. Maybe a combination of both. But you can find me at Flipside Juliet _ on IG, also Flipside Fetish on Twitter. Well, X now.
Yeah. Okay, so please put your, if you can, put your links in the chat so that everyone can follow each other. All right, Static G, over to you, Mr. Artist.
Hey there, my name is Static G. I'm an artist, entrepreneur. I kind of do it all, but the main thing I focus on is music. You can find my stuff at pretty much everywhere: Spotify, YouTube, Apple, Pandora, anywhere music's bought, streamed, or sold. And you can also find out some of my other stuff I do on Linktree. That's linktr.ee/staticg. I'll put that in the chat when I get a chance. And yeah, I just like to have fun. And one of my favorite things is just being authentic and chilling with, real people who talk about real shit. So happy to be here with y'all.
That's what's up. All right. Ace Miller in the building from This Freaking Podcast. You can unmute and tell me what the nickname you want me to call you whilst I introduce you, but let our viewers know who you are and where they can find you. Hold on, you have to unmute, Ace Miller.
Cool.
There
I got
you
it.
go.
Yep. Yep. My button away. I'm not too tech savvy. Well, my name is Ace. So I like to grow cannabis. That's my jam. I do a lot of cannabis. Trying to be like Cookies of the South. I have a huge following down here, Virginia, Tennessee area, West Virginia, and down South Kentucky and shit. And I do the podcast. I love that. That's just super fun. Stay up out of trouble. And much I like to advocate for the youth and advocate against drugs. So I get people sober, get people living better, and better parents, better fathers, things of that nature.
Okay, nice. Well, I hope people get to tune into your podcast. Don't forget, put the link in the chat so that people can click it and see where you at and view what you got on your platform. Awesome. All right, Carrie Beckham, introduce yourself to our viewers. Oop, you just muted. There you go.
My name is Carrie Beckham. I'm an entrepreneur and author. You can follow me on Facebook at Alpha K Brand and on Instagram at Alpha K Brand. I'm in the business of helping people with self-improvement.
Okay, please tell us about your book, because I know our viewers would like to know more about your book, Alpha King. Sorry, Alpha K Brand. I always say Alpha King. It's like this thing in my head that says Alpha King. But you are an Alpha King. But tell us more about your Alpha K Brand.
The book is dedicated to help men become the best version of themselves so they can know how to be a sufficient leader in a community and in a relationship. Because the truth of the matter is, especially in our community, Black men, the biggest issue that they got to deal with is relationships. They either set them back or push them forward. So I want men to be in the best position that they possibly can be in relationship and in this life.
I love that. And if you have a link for your Amazon link, please place it in the chat so that everyone can take a look, and also for our viewers. Now, before we get the show started, we do have comedian Tiny Thickums, but I'm not sure if she's in yet. Is she in yet, Dee?
No, she haven't joined yet.
Not yet. Okay. Well, when she comes, we will introduce her and then get her up to date with the question that we're on. So let's get the show started. And I'm going to start with a first question that was sent in. And even though this question is phrased for the men, I want to ask the females first, their perspective on this question. And it goes a little something like this in relation to relationships. Now, are men avoiding marriage, or are they avoiding divorce? And I'm gonna pass this to you, Juliet. Are men avoiding marriage, or are they avoiding divorce?
Are they avoiding marriage or divorce?
From your perspective.
I think they're avoiding divorce. I don't want to sound like the He-Man, man hater or anything, but at the end of the day, a lot of them don't want to step up to the plate and keep their woman happy. So that's inevitably what's going to happen. They're going to get divorced. They just want to avoid the whole thing entirely. At this point, it's like they just make sure they have someone that's there for them as they get older, but they don't want to do the work to keep them. I don't know. I mean, I can't speak for a man. I have no idea what they're thinking, but that's what I see.
Okay, that's a female's perspective. So let me hear the male's perspective. And I'm going to start with you, Static G.
Yeah, I mean, I agree and disagree. It's definitely avoiding divorce because, like, I, as a man, I want to get married and I want to have that, like, relationship, that love, that foundation, and that, those barriers and unbreakableness. But the last girl I proposed to, eventually, I asked her for a prenup. or like to make an agreement of some sort, because I've had women in the past come after me and like try to use me. So I was like, just as a show of faith, I have no intention of leaving you. I'm going to share everything with you, but would you be willing to sign this saying, you know, if you leave me, that I don't have to break off all my stuff, you know? And I would even work out some other stuff, like, you know, I don't leave nobody leaving me without going with something, but just for my own protection, because of my experience in the past, you know. And yeah, she wasn't interested like that afterwards. You know, it just changed things. Yeah. So I'm definitely just trying to avoid divorce, you know, in that way.
You're fully understand that. I'm not sure the big issues with prenups, but we'll get into that in a minute. Ace, what you got to say? What'd you say, Juliet?
I mean,
It depends on how it's worded, what it says.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree. I fully agree. I fully agree with her. You know what I'm saying on it. For the most part. Then, at the same token, you gotta respect Static on wanting to not give up everything. You know, but I don't know with mine. I gained all mine with her. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't think that I would be where I'm at without her. So it's a little bit different for me. I would have never had her sign one because I didn't have shit when we first got together. And now we have everything, but we built it together. So I mean, you know, it's a little bit different. Like, I don't think that I would be where I'm at without her. So that's how I see it. But I think that we're avoiding divorce for sure, because a lot of dudes will just be like, well, we'll put up with a lot, because I mean, the woman are putting up with a lot too. You know what I'm saying? So
you're saying
growing.
Men are avoiding. That's what you're saying. Avoiding divorce, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Kyrie, what's your viewpoint?
I agree with what everybody else saying, but I would have to say both. And the reason why I say both, because from dealing with the man that I have dealt with and utilizing a lot of men's experiences, even in producing this book, what a lot of men proclaim is that they feel women change up on them when they get married. A lot of women change up on them when they get married. And so that's what a lot of men is afraid of. In the beginning, it'd be all peaches and cream, but once a woman get that contract, and they try to use that over men's head to, you know, try to control them, manipulate them, and whatnot. And then the divorce part, I believe that a lot of men is afraid of divorce, because unfortunately here in America, the man tends to come out on the losing end when it comes to divorce. So that's why I have to say about it.
Okay, so that's your reasoning. All right. Any of our audience members want to chime in and respond to this question? Any viewpoints from our audience members? Don't be shy. Remember, this is a safe zone, judgment-free zone. You know, we want to hear your perspectives. I see King and Nicole. I don't want to be pointing out anyone, but hi and welcome to the show. So again, if you do want to respond, just hit the raise hand icon and we will call you up. Are you trying to unmute? Okay. That's King and Nicole. There's an unmute button on the left-hand bottom side of your screen. There you go.
Sorry about that. Hello, everyone.
You're fine. Good night.
All right. First off, I don't think that men are avoiding marriage. I think the biggest problem is I don't think that people are tending to know each other in relationships to actually just jump into marriage. And I don't think that nobody is going into marriage with divorce on their minds at all. You know, so I don't think that men are avoiding marriage, and maybe a lot of them are avoiding divorce, because it's just
I don't think so. I don't, like you just said, like, I don't think that they're like avoiding divorce. There's like, we have a huge circle of friends and family, and just recently, like we would ask, like, we've been to 10 funerals since we've been together. So for 2 years, and then not one wedding, right? And so when we ask one wedding, but we dress up for these funerals, and it's just like, oh, okay, so we won't go to a wedding until ours, obviously. But a lot of the men don't want to get married. They want to be players. They want to still, like, you know, do what they do. I
think that the women they're transitioning into that also.
Yeah,
so I just don't think they're taking the time out to
get to know. Which
So people are not taking the time out, I would say, to either know each other and understand each other's values and viewpoints before they come together. And it's not so much, I want to get married and I want to get divorced. Because for me, you know, I didn't think about that. Divorce should never be on the table. You should know your partner. From what everyone has said, you should know, you know, who you're getting into a relationship with. And divorce should never be on your mind. But from the question asked, are men avoiding marriage or are they avoiding divorce? You're saying they're not so much avoiding the divorce.
Correct.
But some are not avoiding marriage, but they're not ready to get married because they still want that single life.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, and then, yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you, King and Nicole, for sharing that viewpoint. I really enjoyed that. All right. Does any of our other audience members want to chime in before I move on to question number 2? Going once, going twice. All right. Let's go on to question number 2. Okay. Let me just ask this. Everyone knows what a BBL is, right? Okay, thumbs up. We all know. Okay. So this question, does a BBL give women more or less options of quality men in the dating game? So I'll say it one more time. Does a BBL give women more or less options of quality men in the dating game? Quality men. Now, it's like you want to define what's quality men, but that's like different perspectives, different views. You can't really say to me what a quality man is unless I tell you what I like. However, let me kick it off with the men first. Static G, what do you got for me?
Yeah, you're definitely gonna have more options, but I think it's gonna attract a bigger group of people that aren't gonna be, you know, that are just focused on that. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be harder to find somebody that you can connect with on a spiritual or a mental or conversational level. Just in my opinion, because you're gonna have to work through more dudes. You know what I'm saying? And then the good dudes often feel like, yo, that's a lot of competition. Maybe they don't even shoot their shot and they just move on to the next. And I'm not saying that's like every dude and every girl, but I just think that when you kind of work your way up to be like more of a sex symbol type, you're going to be dealing with more, I guess, less quality and more of them. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be harder to get the good quality men. It doesn't mean they ain't going to be there, because I consider myself high quality and, you know, I like the assets as well. But, you know, it definitely makes it harder on both sides in the dating game. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. All right, before I dig a little deep in your response, Juliet, I saw your face. What you got for me?
I mean, honestly, I agree with him. I agree with him. Like it does bring a lot more options to you, but that quality versus quantity is a thing that you have to learn how to use a discernment for. At the end of the day, it's like, okay, I have 10 guys, and I'm also going to meet 10 representatives of who they want me to believe they are. And how do I sort through the riffraff and the extra? You know what I mean? I mean, the BBL, if your BBL is the topic of conversation, the topic of your life, the topic of who you are in general, I mean, what quality are you really looking for? You know what I mean? At some point in time, you have to discern what, like you said, what is quality? What's your definition of it? How do you find it? How do you determine it? How do you see it? Or, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't know. I've never been a girl, so it's like, I don't get it. Yeah,
okay. I don't get it, but to each his own, you know, they gotta do what they gotta do to, you know, to feel a certain way. I'm not bashing because it's not me, but yeah.
Participant.
All right, Ace, what do you got for me? Has his screen frozen?
Oh,
That
I
looks
don't know.
frozen, right?
Right.
Yeah, okay, so, oh,
Right, so-
is it good? Am
Your
I
your
good?
screen, okay, I think you're coming back. You have a blank screen. Do you want to talk so we can hear again? There you go.
Yeah, what about, I should be good, yeah?
Yep, you're good now.
I'm gonna see. Okay. Okay. No, I mean, just, it really defines on where you call high quality. You know what I'm saying? A lot of men go into things, look for a specific woman because I know she has these certain assets and everything else.
And help Amir with her homework again.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
And she'll drop you
Sorry,
home
one
after.
second, Ace. Gmail, Gamali, could you please mute your mic? Because we can hear you. Thank you. Sorry, Ace Miller. Could you go again? I'm sorry for that, guys.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. No, I mean, defining what you consider high quality, because a lot of men will go into relationships thinking about cash flow. You know, I think that if a man sees a high quality woman, you know what I'm saying? He sees that, hey, she says this going for it, this going for it, this going for it. Then he's going to be like, all right, make a team up and we could double our assets. You know, we could go up from there. You know, they just be thinking about, a lot of people do just go in looking as a business deal, and opposed to like actual seeing something spiritual, getting it broke down. And, you know, you're just going to be thinking about one thing. So know if you're going to get the type of relationship that you want if you go in talking about business and talking about what your status is and how you got there. You know, I think that the quality of the individual needs to be more of a counterpart in your life before they need to be anything else.
Okay, I like that one. All right, Kyrie, what you got for me? You're muted. Sorry.
Yeah, it put you in
There
a
you go.
position. It put you in a position to get quality man, but this, I say, it put you in a position to get more low quality man, because the BBL is going to attract, like my man said earlier, more options. And when you got more options, you tend to have more low quality than high quality men, because you think about it, when you get a BBL, you know, getting your booty worked on, this and that, that's backwards thinking. And so what you put out into the universe is what you're going to get. Instead of focus on the internal, you focusing on the external. And so when you put yourself in a position like that, you're going to attract all type of unwanted attention. And then you got to be able to screen through it. You got to be able to vet. And unfortunately, a lot of women have problems screening through men, because men know how to come in and, like the young lady said, portray themselves to be one way, when in actuality, all they want to do is have fun with you.
Yep, that is so true. That's so true. All right, any audience member wants to chime in on this question? Does a BBL give women more or less options of quality men in the dating game? Any audience member wants to chime in? I see.
Yeah, we got Mac Mall with their hand up.
Mac Mall. All right, Mac Mall, come on up. You can unmute yourself. Come on, Mac.
Fucking asshole. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
All right, good. So basically what we're saying is, if a woman gets a BBL, she sexualizes herself. So then most men who will come at that is going to come at that in a way of a sexual manner.
That's not
So is it that what's going on when she gets a BBL?
No, the question that's asked is, does a BBL give a woman more or less options of quality men in the dating game?
It gives her less quality men because she sexualizes herself.
But are you stating that for all men? Are you generalizing?
Majority.
majority of men see a woman with a BBL, they don't think about having a kid with this lady and creating a future.
What our other panelists think about that?
I don't think that's necessarily true. I think
I disagree.
he's looking for.
All right,
You
let me
know?
take one at a time. Juliet, why you disagree?
Well, the BBL might attract him, but it'll take her whatever he's looking for to keep him. It doesn't mean that he wants to have a family with someone just because they have BBL, but that person who he might fall in love with just happens to have one. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean that she's totally X'd off of the love category or something more less superficial. It just means that she doesn't have a BBL.
All right. So going back to, I heard what Juliet said or whatever, but I think that, you know, it's split. So you can, of course, when you get a BBL or you get something, since men are visual creatures, we go off after what we like. We use our eyes to see something out in the environment of what we like, such as a ass or titties or a face or whatever it is. So I feel like when you get a BBL, you're going to put yourself into a whole different category. So just like other panelists were saying, you're going to attract a whole diaspora of men now. But at the same time, you can attract the men that just want to have sex with you, and you're going to attract the men that actually might be high quality, but actually want a woman that looks good with a big ass or titties or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be on both ends of the spectrum. Because like me, of course I want a female, you know, so I'm addicted more so. I'm attracted to females with, you know, an ass or some titties or whatever, and that's what I like. So I might be a high value man that wants a family, wants a kid, you know, wants to get married and stuff like that, but this is what I like. So I think it's going to attract both. See what I'm saying? So
I definitely, you know, respect and appreciate your response because that's your perspective. And anybody agree with it? I know Juliet disagrees with it, but does anyone else agree with what was just said? Any other audience member wants to chime in on the question asked?
Yeah, we got P.
All right, P, on to you. If you can, you know, turn on those lovely cameras. Let's see your face. If not, just unmute so we can hear what you got to say.
So currently I can't unmute. However, I'm going to speak from experience. I personally have a BBL, and people don't even know that it is a BBL because it actually fits my body. And so you wouldn't know the difference from it being natural and not being natural. And I say that to say, the young man just explained that women who have these BBLs, men may not want to marry them because of how they look. I think that is a foolish statement because I have high quality men after me, low quality men, and I'm engaged. And so I think that I agree with majority of the men that say that you will attract both of them, but to just generalize because a woman has a BBL that she's over sexualizing herself or she isn't going to be fit for marriage, I think that is that's not a true statement at all, because it's not about the BBL. It's about the way you carry yourself with the BBL. It's about the way the BBL looks. It's about the way you dress with the BBL. If you are funky and nasty and unproportionate, then yeah, you probably are going to get those low quality people. But if you got a good BBL job and you look like a woman, a lot of high quality men like it.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Yep, that is true.
May I add something to pick up what she said?
Sure.
She's right, because you can have BBL, it's about how you carry yourself. But what a lot of men don't want to talk about, but it's been in their mind, and I'm that person that's going to talk about it. When you look at certain women that got a BBL, like the other individual said, sometimes you do look at it like, I'm not going to marry her, because in your mind, you were like, the way she carrying herself with that BBL, in your mind, you like, it's a possibility she's not been ran through because of the way she carried herself. And no man in their right mind, I don't care how alpha they say they is, no man in their right mind want to be with a woman that been ran through. And most of the time, we look at the women with BBL, if you can't judge how they carrying herself, in your mind, you be like, I'm just going to have fun, I'm going to hit it, I'm going to get in and get out.
I'm sorry. So are you saying that if you have a BBL, No, you couldn't be saying that. That you're okay.
What I'm saying is what the young lady just said, Peter called in, how you carry yourself plays a
Yes,
factor.
but are you making an assumption that females with BBLs,
You
are more
misunderstood.
promiscuous per se?
You misunderstood what I said. I said in a man's mind, I'm not saying this is the case. I'm saying in man's mind, how you carry yourself with that BBL. In a lot of men's mind, they look at it, man, it's a possibility that she probably been ran through because of the way she carrying herself.
Men have those thoughts no matter what you look like, BBL or non. You got the flattest butt in the world, and they'll still think some crazy stuff if that's how they think. It's about that man's mentality. It's not just about even necessarily how you carry yourself. Sometimes it's about what they've done, what they've experienced in the past. It has nothing to do with yourself sometimes.
And it can be both.
It can be.
It's perspectives. Yep. Okay. All right. Any other audience member? Thank you for that, Pete. Thanks for chiming in.
We just got one of the
yes,
panelists
I'm about
waiting
to
on Tiny Thickums.
Yes, I'm about to introduce her in one sec. I just want to ask if there are any other audience members that wanted to chime in. All right. Tiny Thickums, can you unmute? Can you hear us? Did she dip out again? Because I think she said her network wasn't on point.
Yeah, it looked like she dropped off.
Yeah, she was in and out. She had messaged and said she was in and out. All right, well, that was some lovely responses to this question asked about the BBL. I didn't think it would prompt such a nice conversation, but I like it. I like it a lot. Before we move into the next question, I just want to, shout out to our sponsors, Better Detroit Brownies, Chicago Black Business, Starving Mind Records, aka D Walls, who is our engineer for the night and also our co-producer on the show. Podcastic or Streamcastic, that is where we are live at this moment in time, coming to you for the virtual heart-to-heart relationship talk show. Cola Lounge, where we have our in-person shows, and our next one will be coming up in the next month, and details will be provided for that. And of course, Pharcyde TV, who we are streaming with for tonight. Now, before we get into our next question, I am going to hand it over to D Walls, who's going to share with us just a little bit on our talent showcase as we feature artists that we have on the show. Over to you, D.
All right, peace of mind and sending everybody. Thanks for joining us. I am D Walls, and this segment is sponsored to you by Starving Mind Records. We give opportunities for people to submit in any type of talent that they have, whether it's singing, rapping, and we will stream their video a minute and 30 seconds live during the show. And there's ways that you can do it is by going onto our Instagram, submit in a question and follow us, and then just send in your video. So make sure if y'all know anybody that deal with music, anything, any type of talent they want to get displayed, here's an opportunity for them. But tonight we have a hot track for y'all, and he also have been, this is second time on the show, and he tends to bring some good insight. And y'all heard him earlier, it's Static G. So we want to play one of his latest track. It's 5 for y'all.
They think I'm a bad motherfucker, check the news. I might break inside your place, hide your jewels. I might strangle all you bitches, better move. I got the best weed, yeah, that's probably true. Bad bitches, bad motherfuckers only. Bad bitches, bad motherfuckers only. Bad bitches, bad motherfuckers only. Y'all the type who call the cops, bitch, I call my homies, You wanted the bad guy, okay, here I am. I don't wanna hear you say that shit again. Puts me in a bad mood. I know that I'm good. Today I wore my work shirt, tonight I wear my hood. Yo, this ain't no accident, no magic trick, no smoke and mirrors. Ain't no you and me in conversation, ho. Don't compare us, huh? I'm the captain, I give crackers to these fucking parents. Keep on yapping, I go smashing backsides fucking Karens. All I do is wake up, feel good and go get it poppin'. Yeah, my money's working for me. That's how come I run with bosses. These days I'm cutting throats. Back then I was cutting losses. Put your hands up in the sky, it's a fucking robbery. Co-signed by the gang, yeah, because of what I am. 5-0 riding by, here we go again, yeah. Never tell them nothing, won't be rolled up with no co-defendants. Like I cut my tongue off. All I got is broken pencils, always screaming fuck cops. They hit us in groups, they got military strength. Yeah, we got nothing to lose. Yeah, I work for myself, there ain't nothing they can do. Write an article and slander me, yo, okay.
Ah, Static G.
Slim Shady in the building. Slim Shady in the building.
Hey, Tiny.
Hey, y'all. I'm going to have bad reception because I'm in Atlanta.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you give us a little light, or you're driving? Because we can barely see you.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. That's nice. Hey, Tiny. All
Hey,
right.
motherfuckers. Go ahead, Slim Shady.
I'm going to let you introduce yourself to everyone. You have like 1 minute. Just tell us, who you are, where we can find you, and what you do.
All right, my bad, Slim Shady. I'm gonna interrupt real quick. All right, so I am Tiny Thickles. I am from Chicago, the West motherfucking side. I am a comedian. I host at the Laugh Factory. I'm on Pornhub, OnlyFans. Not yet, but if y'all want to start paying now, I will most definitely start tomorrow.
You better put that link in the chat then, Tiny. Put your link in the
I'm finna correct that shit right now.
All right, before I hop into this third question, Static G, I just want to say that, for this show, Static G unfortunately met into an accident. And, on this show, we always like to help our panelists as best as we can. And for that, if you can, and you can donate via his Cash App, which hopefully, I know I saw it in the chat. Or if you went through Eventbrite link, there is the donation tab. If any donations are provided, we will send that over to Static G. I know in times like this, it's difficult, it's hard, and we're just trying our best to help him as best as we can. So in the chat, Cash App, or if you went through Eventbrite through the donations link. All right. Let's pop this third question. I kind of like this one, and I think Tiny came in at the right time. All right, so this is a sexual question. And of course, Tiny Thickens, I like your vibes right now. So I'm gonna hand this first question over to you. And the question goes, what are some good ways to test someone's freaky side during intimacy without discussing it? So no discussions, you're in the bed, you're getting it on. What's the best way to introduce, good ways to test someone's freaky side?
That is so funny. I am aggressive as fuck. So at the end of the day, for me to test a man freaky side at the end of the day is to really how I talk to a man. Also for that shit, talk to a man. So if we missionary, if he on top, I will grab a man booty cheeks and stick my finger up their ass and see if they like it or not. Now, if motherfucker don't move my hand from it, I'm going to bring a fuck the shit out their booty hole. But I feel like when it comes down to that, it's really because who I am. Like, I'm comfortable. It's a lot of men being in a comfortable space with me. Because at the end of the day, I do not make a man feel no type of way on some feel that shit. At the end of the day, you explore your sexuality the way you can. Because at the end of the day, you're not going to get this with a regular woman.
Right.
That been used to just, missionary doggy style type shit. Some women out here is not even into the freaky shit. They used to, suck a dick, lick the balls. Well, that's me. But at the same time, I was sticking my finger up for me and booty.
So that's your way of testing it. So if he
Yeah,
moves your
that's
hand,
that
they
G
know he ain't
spot.
into it.
Yeah, he went
We
to jail
know.
before. He went to jail before. That's why I know he went to jail before. He ain't like it. He ain't like the jail. He ain't like the
All
dick in
right.
the booty.
All right, Tiny Thickens. I'm gonna hand this on you, Ace. What's your view?
He said his booty hole. Lord Jesus.
Are you? Are you? I think his screen is frozen again. Ace, are you there?
No. I mean, I'm just gonna do what I feel. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I don't down like that though.
You said you don't know.
No, I said no. I'm saying. I said I don't know how I just do it. You know what I'm saying? I don't on it or whatever. But I ain't gonna let no girl put no finger in my booty. I ain't.
Okay, no.
She
So
doing
how
that? I'm
would
talking. I'm like,
you?
whoa.
This is your perspective. How would you test a woman's freakiness? How would you test a woman without, discussing it or having any conversations? How would you? This is your perspective. That's Tiny's perspective. We want
I
your
don't know. I'm
perspective.
probably. I'd be like, hey, you trying to? I don't know. I'm pretty vocal. I probably would have to speak on it, unless I just try something. But other than that, I'm gonna have to speak on it. I'm like, hey, you cool with this? You cool with that? I don't know. Maybe I'm too woman-like or something.
Okay, so you're Mr. Discuss It First. All right.
He's such a gentleman.
He is. All right,
That's a
Juliet,
gentleman. You like that? You like that?
I want to hear your response, Juliet. Give it to us.
Nah, because look, you tried.
I can't hear him.
I can't either. Ace, is your reception fine? Because you're sometimes going in and out and your screen kind of freezes sometimes too.
No, I highly doubt it. I'm way out in the sticks.
Okay. Ooh, okay.
That's
All right, Juliet.
Like a coochie.
What'd you say, Juliet? All right, Juliet, over to you.
Okay. I'm still laughing about the whole booty hole thing. I'm crying. I think first.
That's right.
I can't. This is what I tell people who ask me this normally when they want to come to the events. First, you need to find out what freak means to you. It's all subjective because a lot of people come to me thinking they're freaks, and then I tell them some shit, and they're like, "Oh," like you have to figure out what it is to you. But I would say the easiest way for someone to test their partner would be to put on some kind of porn or pretend like it was a conversation that was happening in your office or something and bring it up to your partner and see their reaction, gauge their reaction. If you don't want to ask them directly, just bring it up like hint, hint, this is what I heard or something like that. Even if you don't want to express that it's your actual interest, I would say you have to bring it up some kind of way. Also to acknowledge we are in an age of consent, so you can't just stick your fingers in people's booties without some type of acknowledgement that they may not be okay. That can get you hurt. I've seen it happen. So yeah, you can't just go around shush. But
okay, Static G. Let me hear from you. How you gonna test a female's freakiness and you haven't discussed it?
Yeah, like I'm kind of shy, so if we haven't talked about it yet, I just go like an astronaut. I start exploring, you know what I'm saying? I'll just like reach up on the nipples and maybe I lick the butthole real quick, see what she likes, like slide some fingers around, put my hand on her neck, just see what she's into and how she responds to it. And then if she don't like something, a girl's gonna say, "Don't do that. I don't like that." You know what I'm saying? So usually they like it when you just explore, kind of find out what's what, hitting some switches and twisting some things. So that's how I do it. I just figure it out. And then they tell me afterwards, "Ooh, I like that." But what was that?
Okay, Juliet, you said some women won't. Hi guys, if you're not speaking, could you please mute your mic so we don't hear any feedback? Thank you. Is that you, Tiny? Yes, that was. All right, sorry, Juliet. You had anything else to add?
We're still laughing about it. I think, like I said, all in all, we need to determine what a freak is before we start exploring anything with our partners or with ourselves. You know, like I
Right.
said, people think they're freaks, but they're really not. A lot of this stuff is so basic, it's ridiculous. Like, and it's just like they get a little concerned when someone really knows what they're talking about comes along.
And give them. All right, Kyrie, what you got for us with this question?
I agree with Juliet. Pornography is an unspoken communication to let your girl know what you want to do. Me, in the bedroom, I'm aggressive. So if I feel like doing something, then I don't want to get myself in trouble or incriminate myself, but I'm gonna do it. When I start seeing juices and all that stuff flying, man, it take over me, man. And then unfortunately, we just gonna have to have a discussion afterwards, man. And I agree with Julia. Some women, they ain't gonna stop you, man. They be like, oh, I didn't know I could do that. So
that's true.
I'm aggressive.
That's true.
I'm aggressive, so I'm gonna do what I want to do. But them type of discussions I have during the dating time, right up front. This is where I am, and when we're in the bedroom, whatever we do, let's discuss it afterwards. Then we go from there. But don't mess up the mood. Don't throw me off, man, because it's like something come over me, man. I just want to. If you understand what I'm saying.
I do. I love those responses. All right, our audience members, I know there may be one or two of you that wants to respond to this question. Don't worry, don't be shy, judgment-free zone. But if you want to respond, please hit that raise hand icon so we can call up on you. There must be an audience member that wants to say something about this. They can't be this quiet. Say it again, Julia.
Can I respond to his comment?
Definitely.
Don't disturb him while he's in it. Wait till afterwards. So to me, that's a horrible idea. Absolutely horrible. Because while you're enjoying yourself, I could be suffering in silence, which I personally wouldn't, but some women will. And they'll let you do what you do, and they might discuss it afterwards. But at the same time, is now you've ruined a whole situation where she could have had a pleasurable experience. Now she hasn't because you didn't want to hear it in between her time. You know what I mean? I get that. If he's a person that follows their body and realizes, hey, she's not into that, and he stops without her having to say anything, cool. But some people just don't have that ability, you know what I mean? So I don't know if that's something that he would be doing. You'd be following her body to see if she likes it or not, or what.
Okay. Kyrie, you good with that? I know you're good.
I mean, you pay attention to signs and whatnot. You pay attention to signs and moaning and whatnot, but you don't know what a person like until you try it. So I'm not about to be scared.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah. Tiptoe around sex and whatnot.
I just hope the person who sent in this question is in this discussion and that they understand that, if you're comfortable, have that discussion beforehand. If not, hopefully in the bedroom, it ain't too active that you feel uncomfortable in that situation. But I would say talk it over first, but that's just my view. No surprise.
Whoever put your finger on his booty hole and see if you like it. That's a G spot.
But some men may not like that, Tiny. So.
That's why I said they probably went to jail before. They got a little booty in the dick in their booty hole before, and what they like when they went to jail. Yeah, I'm from Chicago, baby. I mess with Chicago.
All right, Tiny. We love that.
We have the audience. We have King and Nicole.
King and Nicole, come on up. Unmute. You guys can unmute.
Okay. Did you want to go?
Go ahead.
All right. So I'll go. So I agree with Ace, Juliet, and Kyrie. I know when we first got to, so Ace, let me tell you why I agree with you, because you're vocal. You said you have to express yourself. And so I remember when we first got together, we used to date when we was kids, but then when we started back adults a couple of years ago. And I remember just vocally saying like, hey, what do you like? Please tell me, what do you like? Like, this is what I like, because you know, different people like different things. So I always ask. I'm very vocal about everything because you can't say that you didn't know, like, or you can't say that I didn't ask. And I mean,
Yeah.
like
And at first I had a problem with it because I'm like, yo, ain't no girl
ever asked them that
did me like this before and stuff. So I didn't know what to say.
Yeah.
And so eventually we just came to the conclusion, like, no holds barred.
But it was
yeah,
even like with the porn that I can't remember who brought it up. I'm sorry, but for me, I did that with him. Like, there's one thing that I love, and like now he knows it, but like I showed him. I took the phone and I said, hey, look, like this is what I'm talking about. When I'm asking you all these questions, like this right here, like this is it. And, like
that was Juliet. Mm-hmm. That was Juliet.
Yep, you have
unmistakable now.
You have to be vocal, and but then I agree too with Kyrie, because then you're like, oh, you know, like it'll throw me off or this, that, and the other. Yeah, I wouldn't talk about it in a moment. Like nobody's gonna say, "Ooh, do you like this baby?" Like at that moment, but like just normal. We can be sitting on the couch, and I just be like, "Hey, like, tell me, like." But I think that if we were like in the middle of some shit, and he just said, "Ooh, do you like this?" Like, don't do that. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
Now I don't want you at this moment.
I mean, I love it.
Yeah. Did you have something else?
No, that was it. That's it. So,
can I just ask a question? Are you both married or dating?
Engaged.
We're dating right now.
Yes.
Marriage coming soon.
Nice. All right.
But so just to give a little insight, we dated. So our fathers are best friends. His father is, rest in peace to him now. But so we grew up together, but we tried it in our 20s, and it was terrible. It was so bad.
Yeah, we wouldn't have made it.
Yeah, we wouldn't have made it. But then like 39ish, we got together, and it works now. Like now it's like, oh gosh, you know, we searched for each other, like, and all these other people. We both went on and married. We're now divorced. Woohoo. But yeah, so it's nice. Like and waking up to my best friend every day. Like, so I ain't scared of shit.
I love that. Well, we do have a wedding coming up. You know, we've had 2 people on the show that got together relationship wise, and their wedding is coming up in a week. So make it happen. All right. Let's run into this 4th question. And this is a work related question. And it goes a little something like this. I have a boss who is subtly flirtatious, and if I'm not receptive, she takes it out on me through work. A couple days ago, she found out I reported her to HR. What should I do? So the boss was subtle. Sometimes I'm Jamaican. Give me a break. What'd you say?
Subtle.
That's not subtle. It's just how you wrote it. All right. Let's pass this over to Static. Yeah.
I mean, what can you do at that point? I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, you just got to wait and see. And if she's your boss and you reported her already, I guess you're probably going to be dealing with it, or she's just going to leave you alone. But I don't think there's really anything you can do but just hold it out and see what happens. And then, you know, or throw the pipe. No, I'm just kidding. But I don't know. It's like the 2 options for me is just either deal with it or give her what she wants.
Okay, Juliet.
Depending on what state you live in, you have different rights, but I would say make sure you keep a record of every single thing. I don't care if she says good morning to you. Keep a record of it, write it down. Make sure that you've reported everything to HR, and make sure you got their response as well in writing. Don't take anything for verbally at all. Just make sure you get everything documented. So when the lawsuit comes, you know what's happening.
Can I add one thing too?
Yep.
Just definitely play the defense. Don't ever try to talk shit back or do anything that can incriminate you, because it don't matter if she started it, if you reported her. At any point, the shit can be turned on you, and it can make you the bad guy. So I would just keep your
Sure
peace
can.
until you know what happens. Yeah.
Especially
I like that.
Yeah.
All right, Ace, what you got for me?
Man, I'm just gonna say get some money. Easier raise. Maybe you can get some relax. You don't have to work much. You might get to your tasks on the job. You know what I'm saying? That's a powerful.
All right, Kyrie.
Horrible bosses or
Hey,
whatever.
promotion, here I come. No, I'm just playing. I would say sometimes you got to inconvenience yourself. And what I mean by that is you might have to ask to go to a different shift or a different department. That's if you want to stay at that job. Me personally, if I'm not happy with something on the job, I'm leaving because I'm not going to keep subjecting myself to BS that I don't have to. All right. But if you want to stay at that job, you have to go to HR, the center manager, plant manager, whatever, and inconvenience yourself. Say, I need to go to the off shift because of this or that. I don't want to get in trouble. Or can you move me to a different department because I'm uncomfortable?
Hostile work environment.
Awesome. Yeah, agree with that. Hey, Tiny Thickens, did you hear the question?
No, I did not.
All right. I'm just gonna.
environment.
Are you ready? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
All right.
You hear me?
Here's the question. I have a boss who is flirtatious, and if I'm not receptive, she takes it out on me through work. A couple of days ago, she found out I reported her to HR. What should I do? This is from a male. What should I do?
Report the bitch. No.
He reported her to HR, but what should he do in the same environment that he's working in with the boss?
What can I say? That is on professionalism. I ain't gonna say quit your job, but tell her what it is. But at the same time, if this person is still sexually harassing you, this me being professional, sexually harassing you, move to a different department. Move to the department, move around from this person for you don't even get yourself caught up in the situation. That's all I'll say about that.
I think I'll
turn your
agree.
radio down too, Tiny.
Okay.
Thanks, Dee.
Okay. Thank you.
That's good.
I got my
I'll
headphones
agree
in,
with
so I
that.
can't hear.
Okay. I don't think I would want to be in the same work environment if it is that I report in my boss, because you never know what they're going to do, and you want to keep yourself safe. You also want to keep your job. That's what I would feel. But okay. I'm gonna pass this over to any of our audience members that want to chime in on this question. Remember, you can click your raised hand icon and we will call upon you. And I'm gonna go once. No audience member? All right. Let's pass this on to another question. Anything, D, or are we good?
Oh, we ain't got no raised hands. I was wondering what Humble Boy at? Where you at?
I see, Homo Boy. All right, welcome to the show, Homo Boy. Thanks for tuning in. Is he trying to unmute? You trying to unmute? Yes, he is. Can we unmute D, or he has to unmute himself? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, hopefully Homo Boy can chime in for this next question. I'll get at him once he unmutes himself. All right, we'll get back to you, Homo Boy. Oh, there you go.
All right, what the question was again?
All right, so it's a workplace environment and a boss is being flirtatious with someone, and they reported the boss to HR, and they're asking what should they do.
So you talking about the person who reported it? Just
Yes.
stay away from them. Like, just stay away from them. Go to make reports. Stay away from them. as far as you can. Try to keep it short, sweet. Just do your job. Stay away from them.
And as Juliet said, document everything.
Yeah, document everything.
Every
That
action,
work, that
every
could get
request.
messy. That could get real. I done been in a situation like that. That can get real messy. So you don't really, and it can be real uncomfortable at work. So it's best to just stay focused. Just do your job and leave. You know,
Okay.
don't try to get wrapped up in no small talk or nothing. Just cut all that. Just do your job. Do what you're supposed to do. And get in and get out of there.
All right. Well, thanks for that,
Document.
boy.
Yeah, document everything.
And document. I love that word, document. It's the best thing ever. Evidence is key.
Yeah.
All right, let's roll into this next question. Ooh. Okay, let me just read this quick. All right, so this question seems that it's more like a family-oriented question, but I'm gonna just read it as I got it. All right, what's the best advice you can give to a man who has gotten a woman pregnant and he wants to keep the baby, but she doesn't? So the female does not want to keep the child, but the male wants to keep the child. What's the best advice that you would give to this man going through this situation? And I am going to start with Static.
My best advice, or what I would say, honestly, is just to communicate that and say, hey, I would like to have the baby, and see what she thinks. Maybe she'll have a change of heart later, but really you can't make a girl have a baby and if she don't want to. So it's like, you really just have to appeal to the side of, and it also, are you guys like trying to stay together, or is like, are y'all broke up? That's another question on my end, but I would definitely just say, like, all you can do is really just say, hey, it would be cool if we had a baby. I'd be willing to pitch in or do my part. And, you know, ultimately, if she says no, you just kind of got to accept it. Like, maybe somebody else.
Okay, Juliet?
It's a very touchy subject because at the end of the day, it's like, it's her body. You can't force her to have that child. And even after the child is here, what's the dynamic going to be like? Have you discussed, are y'all together now? How is your relationship now? What do you think your relationship is going to be later on? Are you trying to marry this girl? Are you trying to, you know what I mean? Like, is she going to be just another baby mama? What's happening? Do you see a future with this woman? Or you just want your lineage to carry on? You know what I mean? Like, it's so many different questions that you have to ask and a discussion that you have to have that can determine how he can go about anything. But at the end of the day, it's still her decision. Personally, it's whatever I figure out I want to do myself. I don't care what he has to say. Because at the end of the day, if he decides he wants to get up and leave, I'm stuck with that kid. No, absolutely not.
Okay. I'm not sure if Tiny Thickens is still in. Ace, is his network up and running? I see him there, but I don't see him. All right, Carrie, let me hand that over to you.
All I'm gonna say is pray, man, and keep it pushing, man, because like Juliet says, in America, the woman got the last say so if a baby gonna be born or if the baby gonna be killed. So all you can do as a man is pray, hope for the best, and move on.
Okay. Ace or Tiny? Tiny, I see you. Can you hear us? All right, did you hear the question? She says, one moment. You're muted, Tiny.
Yes,
there you go.
I did hear her question. All right, so I am a woman that do not have kids. I taught all my kids. So I'm a great babysitter. So
I'm sorry, say it again, Tiny, because we didn't hear you because of your volume.
can you hear me now?
Okay,
Can
go again.
y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I said, I swallow all my kids, so I don't know what a response to that. Honestly, with a plateau change. My bad.
You caught me off guard a while ago.
I'm sorry, I'm wild as fuck. Kid question.
That's wild.
I swallow all my children. I don't know how the fuck I should feel. I'm a great mother. Shit, I like to babysit.
All right, so that's what you do. You swallow your kids, but we're asking for what advice would you give to this man? Say your friend came to you and said that to you, that, you know, he got his girl pregnant, but she doesn't want the baby, but he does. What advice would you give to this man, your friend? What advice would you tell him on how to handle the situation? What she said?
She don't want to keep the goddamn baby. She don't want to keep trying to raise a child. That's her responsibility. That's her body. What can I say about that? If then you as a man that want to keep your child, well, sorry, try another woman.
Okay. All right, Tiny, thanks for that. Is Ace still on or no? I don't see him. All right, I see one of our audience members, P. Come on up. I see your hand, your raised hand icon. You can unmute yourself.
So are you saying that the woman wants the baby, but the father doesn't? And what advice would you give to the woman?
No, flip. The male wants the baby. The man wants the baby, but the woman does not want the child.
You know, I have to just tell you how I feel, not really trying to do any judgment, but I would just have to tell her, if you kill that baby, you're going to hell. I need you to know that. Your ass is going to be flaming in hell, okay? It's selfish. You bust that good nut. You should have thought about all of these things ahead of time, ma'am. You and him. And the fact that you didn't, and now you want to go killing folk because you don't want to be a mama, your ass going to hell. That's it.
That's what you
Get
go,
ready
okay.
to burn.
Let it burn. I'm sorry.
So
Come on,
she's
Usher.
in a guilt situation. She's being guilted into making a very long life decision.
That's right. I like it.
Okay.
All right. Any audience member wants to chime in on this question? Anyone? I see Hummer Boy.
We got
All right,
Hummer Boy.
Boy.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, the advice I give him, I'll tell him, like, she don't want you. She don't want to be tied down to you. She for the streets. Let her go. You know what I'm saying? No, I wouldn't give him that though. But I'll tell him, like, she just ain't ready. You gotta wait till she ready. You know what I'm saying? She might got some stuff going on, and when the time is right, if you still want it, she might be with it. You know, everything about time, and so you can't really rush that on. But if it happened, it happened. But if she ain't ready for it, like y'all say, it's her body, so she get to ultimately make the decision. But I had to tell him, like, look, she ain't ready. She probably going through some stuff, or she mentally ain't there yet. Just wait till the time is right, you know?
She doesn't want to risk being a single mother.
Yep.
Hey, might I add, I agree with what Hummer Boy said. She don't want to have a baby, man. At the end of that circumstance, man, he need to run, man. He need to run. we can't say, you know, what get to me is we say that people is not ready, but you're doing things that gonna put you in a position to be ready. So just run, man. That's my advice. Run.
All right. Any other audience member wants to chime in on the question? Going once, going twice. All right. So D, I'm gonna hand this over to you to play our lovely commercial for our panelists and our viewers. Hey everyone, welcome to the virtual staging of the Heart to Heart Relationship Talk Show. I am one of your co-producers, Trina, and we're grateful to have you joining us here today on one of our events. Now, we want to take the time to remind everyone that the show is being streamed live on the Pharcyde TV YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe to their page, where you can also find our content, which includes all our past shows and the interviews that we have been doing with our panelists. We also want to take the time to remind everyone to join us on all our social media platforms, which includes our Facebook group at Heart to Heart RTS, where we discuss topics that we didn't get to touch on the show. And also we're looking forward to give away 1 or 2 tickets to one of our upcoming virtual events. Now, with that being said, I think I've done enough talking, and I think it's time we get on with the show. So I'm gonna hand it right back over to the host. Have a good show, guys. All right, I'm your host. All right, so I kind of like this question. I'm gonna dip into this question. Obviously, it's a relationship question. I'm not sure what sex sent it in, but it doesn't really matter because it relates to both sexes. What are some reasons why some women should wear the pants in their relationship rather than the man? Again, just think about it. What are some reasons why some women should wear the pants in their relationship rather than the man? And I had to, I had a discussion before this, when I saw this question, because I'm thinking, what does wearing the pants mean? And I guess it can mean control or be a leader in the relationship. So you're leading the relationship rather than the man. So what are some of the reasons why some women should wear the pants in their relationship? And of course, I'm gonna kick it over first to Tiny Thickums.
All right. By me being a person that went through this years ago, I was the man in my relationship only because I was paying the money for the rent. I was paying the rent of my house, paying the money for clothes. I had a check. So it's like at the end of the day, I love the dick so motherfucking much, I'll take care of you in a way too. And what like that, so it's like me personally, I'll be a leader and be a very aggressive. Like, all right, you can't run around here. You not take care of my household. So at the end of the day, you're gonna be the man that give me dick and shut the fuck up. Ain't no money come in my pocket. So why the fuck I need to listen to, or you trying to control me if nothing is coming towards me? You know what I mean? So it's like, that's why I look at that type of shit. It's like me being a leader, and I don't supposed to be a leader, but it says that me being a leader in my relationship, that me take care of bills, and me being a leadership when the man is supposed to be the leader in the relationship. So when it comes out to reverse role, I think I'll do the reverse role. Yeah, at the end of the day, when it comes out to that, I don't like to say this towards men. Honestly, I hate calling men bitches. But if I gotta take care of you, you my bitch. You my bitch now. Right? It's a cool shit. Give me dick, all right. You my little bitch. It's fine. I love that. Dude, where my bitches? Where my bitch? Where my bitch? Oh, y'all so good. That's
sounds spirit. All right, Juliet, what you got for us?
To sum it up, it's because she's with the wrong man. That's it. She's with the wrong man. Don't get me wrong. Some women might like that sort of situation, but I think they only like it because they've been conditioned to think that's the role they're supposed to be in, especially Black women. You know what I mean? Like, we've been socially groomed to think that we're supposed to do everything for everyone. Ourselves be damned. At the end of the day, is to sum it up, she's with the wrong man, period. I'm sorry. It's just like, I need someone who's going to be in the leadership position. If you can't lead me, or you're gonna leave me off a damn cliff, what are you here for? You know what I mean? I understand having shared responsibilities, things like that. I understand women making money. I understand men making money, things like that. But to me, there still should be a sort of power dynamic, whereas I can depend on you to make sure that we're good. You know what I mean? And I'm the person that backs you up in the event that something happens where you can't do that at the time, you know? She's just with the wrong man. That's it. That's the only time she should have to take the leadership role, or should have to.
Okay.
Now,
I've been single for 4 years.
Yeah, listen, a choice is one thing. If that's what you choose to do and you're most comfortable in that situation because whatever reason, that's more power to you. But if you have to, that's a total different situation, and you should not be in that relationship. I'm sorry, you just shouldn't be. Personal opinion.
Yeah, that's good. I love that.
That's a good viewpoint.
that was a dick control. You understand me? Dick control. That was the best dick I ever had in my whole entire life, baby.
I understand that. We get lost sometimes. We get lost sometimes. But you know what? At the end of the day, I'm not paying your rent, brother. You pay mine, but I'm not paying your rent. You're not living in my house for free either.
Right.
No. We're not doing that. I don't give a fuck how good your dick is. We're not doing that. I see you on the flip side somewhere. We ain't good. No.
That's the reason I've been single for 4 years. God damn.
All right, let me hear a male perspective. All right, Static G, join in.
Yeah. So I'm kind of old fashioned, so I believe in the old school dynamic, but at the same time, I'm not really into gender roles. I feel like we're in a world right now where it's like what you guys just a partnership, and whatever works for you is what works for you. But in the sense of a leadership for a woman, like where the dude's like not wearing the pants, I would say there's like two for me. And one is when you're dating like an escort or like a prostitute, and like she's bringing in that money like that. It's like, you throwing the ass out to all these dudes, you know what I'm saying? It's like, and it's making a lot of money. I'm down to sit at home and be your boyfriend, or single dad shit, or like being a dad, you know what I'm saying? Like I could be a dad at home and have the girl go work, if that's what she wants to do. I personally like to work, so I wouldn't be doing that. But I also take care of my kid too as a single dad on the weekends and shit like that. So that's just the two ways I could see it, is like either dating an escort or staying at home dad.
All right. All right, Carrie, what you got for us?
In my book, I talk about that in my book, chapter 2. I said you should never let a woman maintain you because the Bible, I'm an advocate for the scripture, so I believe in the scripture. The scripture says you should never let a woman maintain you, because when you let a woman maintain you, just like the young lady said, they become reproachful towards you. They start treating you like you one of their little sons. So in my personal opinion, coming from a scriptorial standpoint, a man should always be the leader. Now, you can turn responsibilities over to your woman because she's there to be a helpmeet, right? She's there to support you, push you, and at times you put her in that leadership position because you be like, baby, I'm tied up over here. I want you to take this over and make it work. So that's what I see it from. But as a man, you should never want your woman to be in a position where she got to wear the pants, because she gonna treat you disrespectful. She ain't gonna treat you like no man, and rightly so. I believe that a woman want to be feminine if she can have it her way. And just like Juliet says, if you in a relationship where you got to wear the pants, where you got to pay all the bills and this and that and other, you ain't found the right man. And unfortunately, when you put in that predicament, women, you grow old fast, because that's a hard life for a woman to have to provide and do this and that and that. It get tiresome, it get burdensome. And at the end of the day, you look up and you're like 45, like, man, I wish I had a man to come cut my grass. I don't want to be in that position. So I say, like I said in my book, I got a chapter that says, never let a woman maintain you. A man should always be in a position where he's a leader. And if you move in with a woman, you should always still have your own place. You should always still have your own place. And that's one valuable lesson my daddy taught me. He said, if you move in with a woman and you don't have your own place, you're homeless, because at any given time, she can kick you out.
Both ways. Well, yeah. That is true. That is true. All right. I see one of our audience members, P. I wish P would turn on a camera, but come on up, P. I see you have the raise hand icon. Come on up and share your view.
I'm sorry, I can't turn on the camera right now. I'm a little under the weather, but I wanted to say to Miss Juliet, I love her comments, but most importantly, I love how beautiful that titty looks inside of the camera. I can't even focus with those nice brown titties. Okay, but on another note, the guy that wrote the book Alpha Diaries, the sexy black man with those beautiful lips, you are right. You are, yes, they are so sexy, white teeth. Sir, you are speaking. I I really agree with you, and I truly believe that we're gonna have to get that book. Now, the only time a woman should be leading is if she's with a transgender. Now, what do I mean by that? If she's with a woman that turned into a man, but the woman is still really a woman, then yeah, she can lead because it's two women. You know, that's the only time. But other than that, I'm gonna have to go with Juliet and that fine black man right there. Yes, sir.
Hey, all right, E. I love it. Hey, do we have any other audience? Say it again, Juliet.
Just to confirm, right? I just came from the nude beach, so I had to throw on something to do this show. That's why I'm looking all types ashy right now, because I had to throw in something just to get on. I didn't want to be late.
You ain't looking ashy, Juliet. Oh, stop. You are glowing. You're in the hot sun at a great resort. Girls. Hey.
I love my tan, girl. I love a tan.
Me and you. All right. All right, Hummer Boy, chime in. I see you.
All right, I'll say a woman, she might get the word of parents sometimes. She might be smarter. She might be a better decision maker. She could be the breadwinner. But I don't think just because she's the breadwinner that she get the word of parents. It's just like money, he could still show leadership as a man if he's not making the money. You know what I'm saying? But if she dealing with a male of the male species that's not a man, then she get the word of parents. If she the one who making all the boss moves, she the one making all the money, she the one, every time she put him in position, he making stupid decisions or messing up the money, he don't get the lead. She get the lead the word of parents.
So to sum it up, she's with the wrong man.
Right.
She's with a male of the male species, she's not with a man. Because you can't lead a man. You can lead a male, but not a man though.
Okay. All right, so Hummer Boy, how can he show leadership if he's not bringing in anything? How can he show that?
I mean, he could be the financial person, say, look, do this, do that. You can do this with your money. You could multiply your money if you do this, you do that. If he's not making the money and she making the money, and he can still lay down that structure, that foundation in the home, like, look, we need this done. This gonna help better us. That type of stuff right there. You can still lead if you don't have money. You can still be a man if you don't have money.
I see what Hummer Boy saying.
Stuff around the house. He can have the house clean when she come in. He can have her bath water ran. He could just do little simple stuff to help her. If he ain't got it like that, that's what I would do if I ain't have it like that. I'll make sure the food cooked. The house. I would probably switch gender roles for a minute, but that's me helping her. If I ain't got it like that right now.
But you can't
say, I would say if a woman in that position, she need to cut him loose fast.
Amen.
Yep. Okay.
It's one thing to help, for a little while and that be a little situation because, shit happens, life happens. But if that's how you are and that's it, that's what all it's going to be. Oh, no, baby, no.
He might have ran into hard times. You never know. Nobody is susceptible to hard times.
But that's what I just said. I said sometimes it happens, life happens. But if that's just how we are from beginning to end, absolutely not. I'm sorry, I can't do it. I just can't. It's my personal.
Like I said, I'm an advocate for the scripture. The scripture said man need to be working. You run into hard times, that's what you got your support for. That's what you got your help me for. If she a good woman, she's gonna be like, I'm gonna hold it down, baby, till you get back to that position where you need to be. But if you just a bum and you call yourself calling shots and you want to be administrator with this woman money and telling her this and that, man, you gotta go, man. You a detriment to the society, man.
Amen.
All right. Sorry, I had my producer in my ears. I'm sorry about that, guys. All right. I definitely enjoyed all these views. Before we switch it to another question, do we have any other audience member that wants to chime in, or are we good to go? All right, thumbs up. All right, we good. All right. Whew, this question. Okay, let's talk a little bit about masturbation. All right. What should a man do if he attempts to initiate sex with his woman, but gets denied and catches her masturbating later in the day? Take a minute, take it in, absorb it. And you know, Juliet, I'm gonna hit you off with that. And I think at the bottom it says, I don't masturbate.
What should the man do if the woman is masturbating afterwards? That was the question. You said, what should the man do if he finds her masturbating later?
Right. And before you answer for our panelists, please just again, before you answer the question, share with our viewers who you are, where they can find you, and also put your information in the chat. So yes, Juliet, if he initiates sex and he gets denied and then he catches her later on masturbating.
Again, Juliet Black. I'll put my links in the chat for everyone. Follow me at Flipside Fetish. On what was that? Something just happened. Are we still on?
Yes, we're still good.
Oh, that was weird. Yeah, follow me at Flipside Fetish on Twitter, Flipside Juliet on Instagram. Excuse me, Flipside Juliet _. I just got a new one. We deleted our last one. Guess it's a little too raunchy. So at that point, if your woman doesn't want to have sex with you and she masturbates, I think you need to reevaluate your sex life and what you've been doing, because clearly she's interested in doing herself. You're not getting it done. There's no way, no how that I'm going to have this man next to me that I may or may not be attracted to, whatever their situation is, and I don't want to have sex with him. I want to do it myself. Are you serious? Oh no. That means that he's probably just worried about getting his nut, not letting her, not worrying about hers. A lot of people have issues with it in a sexual relationship because there's a gap between orgasms. As in, he's getting his every time, and she's like, well, what about me? And he doesn't really care. You know what I mean? Personally, I'm vocal as hell, so you're going to know. It's going to be an issue. It's going to be an issue. We're just done. I'm not sticking around. I'm not suffering in silence. You're going to know your shit is trash. So I'm not with it. I will try to help you. If I like you, I'm going to try to help you along, and we can figure it out. If you're willing to learn, you're willing to learn. If you're not willing to learn, then we have a problem. And our problem is that we're done. We're done. I don't care what the situation is. I can be all types of in love, but then again, I couldn't be in love with someone I couldn't fuck. So I don't know. Long story short of the matter is he needs to reevaluate himself and what he's not doing in the bedroom that she's not interested in the story. Or he should bring another partner in. Another man, preferably, because he's clearly not getting the job done. Or he can just bring him to my party and let somebody else do the job for him.
I agree.
we hosted Midtown Manhattan, y'all, NYC.
Post that link. Post that link.
I'll post it
All
again.
right. Static, what you got for us?
Yeah.
Remember, sorry, not to cut. Remember, tell our viewers where we can find you and put your link in the chat.
You got it. I'm Static G. You can find me everywhere music is bought, streamed, or sold. I put my little link in there, and that has some links to music videos, Apple Music, Spotify, some of my music videos. I actually do OnlyFans too, so if you want to check that out, hit me up, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? So in that case, yeah, man, I think I agree with her. Clearly you ain't doing something right, because I've usually left every situation. I try to make her come first, that way I feel like she's satisfied and then I can get mine off, And so if you're dealing with she ain't even trying now and she's masturbating, you're doing something wrong. So I would start asking her what you're doing wrong. Just what am I doing wrong? What can I do better? Come from that angle, because getting mad and then not masturbating is just going to suck for you. Definitely got to have to talk about it.
Okay, it's the consensus, please, is saying talk about it. All right, Tiny Thickens, is she still on? Or Ace? I think Ace dropped off. All right, Carrie, over to you.
I'm Carrie Beckham. You can follow me on Facebook, Africa Brand, and Instagram, Africa Brand. Yeah, you're in trouble, man. If you're a man and your woman don't want to have sex with you and she playing with herself, you're in trouble. And that might be a sign she might be cheating on you because she's trying to save her guts for somebody else to get in them. So she don't want you tampering with her. So you in trouble. I don't think no talking gonna help you. So you just probably need to move on and find you another woman, man. Because when a woman have that feel towards you, she no longer attracted towards you. She see you as disgusting. It's hard to come back from it, man. It's hard to come back from it. So you just need to get your shit together and move on.
Couldn't it be other factors? Does it just have to be, you know, just cut it and move on? No discussion, no nothing. She may not be into somebody else. You just might need to have a conversation about what she likes.
Yeah,
that he's probably not doing it right.
That might be the case, but if you ain't doing it right, I can't speak for them, man.
I know.
You got to be in them guts, man. You got to be pleasing her, man. You got to be making sure she getting off, man. Because she ain't getting off, she gonna close down on you. That's just the truth of the matter is. And when she closed down on you, man, you in trouble. So you got to keep them guts juicy, man.
Keep them guts juicy. Carrie. All right. I see one of our audience members. P, I'm loving your vibes. Come on up.
Okay, you guys. So, you know, I have a little bit to say. This is a bit crazy, but my coochie is desensitized. And this happened to me because I use so many toys. And the rose has desensitized it, the bullets, all of these things. And so I don't want my guy, you know, I'd rather do it myself. And so, yeah, I mean, it's not that I don't love him. I'm not cheating on him. It's just that all of these different toys I use, it has literally it has messed up the coochie.
So are you adding it to your sexual activities? What should he do in this state? Since you're doing that, what's his purpose?
To be honest with you, I'm embarrassed to tell him. I don't want to tell him. And so I just don't tell him. I just do my own thing.
Juliet, you're muted. You're muted, but I hear some.
Okay, I got it. I was saying, don't tell him. You don't have to tell him. Just add it to it, like hand it to him while you're in the middle of it. Like, hey, try this. I want to try this. You know, make it seem like it's his idea.
Right.
It's like it's his idea. Like at the end of the day, it's like it has to be a conversation. I'm not gonna have sex with anybody that's not getting me off. I'm sorry. Too many women suffer in silence. I'm not gonna be one of them. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
I think the older you get, you know, you want to make sure you get yours, he gets his, but you definitely need to get yours. And if you ain't getting it,
right.
Some of them don't think about us either. Like, come on. No.
I agree.
For
All
that,
right.
for that lady that desensitized, boy, she gonna need a lot of prayer, man. I mean, I ain't judging you, but you need a lot of prayer. You need some help. If the clitoris if the clitoris is desensitized and you can't take regular human meat, you in trouble.
No, but for some women, the meat ain't cutting it. So
I mean, I just feel like at this point, unless he has a vibrator inside of his penis, no man on this earth will be able to help me. No man.
Well, you can get a vibrating cock ring. That helps. It'll be right there. You feel the whole vibration.
Yeah, she done use too many toys, man. She done desensitized it, man. You can have a 15, 18-year slogan. She telling you, I need to have vibration, man. So she outside human help at this point.
Mama boy, you were saying something?
Oh, I didn't know you could hear me. I want to ask her, how did it get to the point that she desensitized it? Like, how did it get to that? Like, she didn't like him in the beginning from the jump? Like, why did she start using the toys so much from the get-go?
Can you come on up and share?
Yeah. Okay. So that's a great answer to the question. Thank you for asking. So I have really been using toys just for the past 2 years. He's the one that brought them to me. And what happens is, if you're going to bring a toy into the sex life, you have to be able to compete with that toy. And unfortunately, the toy won. It's like I wanted the toy every day, all the time. I wanted vibration. I was just like the Energizer Bunny at this point, you know? And I don't want to tell him because I love the guy. I want to be with the guy, you know? But I don't know what to say.
Is this someone you want to be with?
I'm sorry.
I feel sorry for this soul. This is someone you want to be with.
Yeah, of course, absolutely.
So I mean, just so P, I have an add-on to that. Do you masturbate for him?
No, to him. Yeah, I masturbate for him, for me, for God. I do what I need to do.
But do you masturbate to him?
Yeah, yes, I do. Okay. I think about him, and I think about if he had vibration in him, how he could be amazing.
I want you to try buying a vibrating cock ring and see if it helps.
Man, that lady keep talking about
what she gonna have to do, she just gonna have to go.
Oh, what? I said she over there talking about vibration, man. She sounds like she need Black Panther. She needs somebody from Wakanda. They got that vibration in them.
Yeah. What I was saying she need to do, she just gonna probably have to go cold turkey, no vibration for about a year, and so she can resensitize it. You know what I'm saying? She got to go cold turkey for about a year or two.
Rejuvenate that. Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you guys. I do appreciate it.
P, I would love to see your face, but I must say thank you for joining in and answering, you know, responding to these questions and to our panelists. I just love it. All right. So that was our final question, as my producer had said to me, and I am going to bring him up so that he can close off the show. I mean, I had a great time. Juliet, I'm still mad because I'm just way jealous with you over there in Jamaica. Static G, you know, it's always a blessing, you know, love seeing your videos, love seeing your growth. And of course, I hope, you know, once again, to those who weren't here before, you know, Static met up in an accident. And as we like to do on the show, we like to help our panelists as best as we can. If you have any donations, if you can support, his Cash App will be in the chat. Or if you went through Eventbrite link, we have the donation section. All of those donations will go straight to Static G. So we appreciate, you know, Static G for being able, because this was what, last week? You know, you're able to be on the show. Right.
Yeah,
you know, we definitely appreciate it. Carrie, you know, nice meeting you. It was my pleasure. I can't wait to read your book. Seems very interesting, and I know my husband is definitely gonna get on that. Tiny Thickens, I know she had to head out. She had a show, but bless her heart, you know, she was able to pop through and have conversations with us. And of course, Ace from This Freaking Podcast, you know, he got his time and he was able to share his views with us. So before we close off the show, I'm gonna bring up Mr. Timothy here so he can have a nice little conversation with you guys.
All right, yeah, that one got a little wild, I guess, with the some of the questions, but definitely appreciate the panelists for you guys being a part of this show. Your perspective, definitely the audience members for you guys tuning in, and then also giving your perspective. We do this show live and in person as well. You can catch us at Cola Lounge. Actually, we'll be there next month, probably around the last Wednesday of the month. And then also in November as well. So those will be 2 months in a row that you'll be able to catch us live. Kyrie, definitely look forward to having you at a live event. I'm going to be in touch with you a little later about that. But other than that, I just want to thank everybody for continuing to support the show. If you can, please tell people about this show. We are trying to get, you know, the word out there, try to get more people on the virtual tip. But other than that, I want to thank you guys. I want you guys to have a good and safe night. Static G, definitely appreciate you for being back on here again. And definitely shout out to my co-producers and my host and wife, Trina. She did an amazing job. So thank you guys. You guys feel free to stick around, network. If you have any questions for us, go ahead, shoot them out. So other than that, we'll be hanging around for the next 10 minutes or so. So, feel free to do what you like.
I am late for dinner. I gotta go.
Okay. Enjoy Jamaica.
Thank you again.
And thank you for having coming back on, Juliet. Appreciate you.
Hey guys.
All right. Hummer boy, thank you for support, bro. Appreciate you.
Really appreciate you guys. Salute.
No
Can't wait to come
problem,
back.
Anytime.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you guys for having me on, man. I appreciate it, man. Enjoying myself on the show, and I want to tell you thank you again.
All right, thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Thanks, everybody. Good show.
We shout our sponsors out.
P, make sure you come on back next time.
Got to.
I didn't know who he was.
Yo, D, I need to switch off YouTube.
Okay, I'm about to hand it over to you.